ग्लोबल स्किल डेवलपमेंट मिशन में आपका स्वागत है।
I hope you've been enjoying this look at working with layers inside Photoshop. Before we wrap up the subject, there's one more thing that I want to show you here. This is actually something that I had mentioned at the beginning of our layers chapter, and that is filtering or sorting your layers based on the kind of layer that we have. And I said earlier on that there's lots and lots of different types of layers, and we're already starting to see that inside of our very simple, admittedly, composition that we have here. Inside the composition that I have here, at least, we have a fill layer. We've got some pixel layers. We've got a type layer, and so on. Okay? So what I can do is I can use the filter that runs right across the top of the layers panel to help me sort and find the layers that I'm after. And as I had mentioned earlier on, I don't really use this very often. Maybe I should, but I don't really make a use of this in a large scale. In any kind of large capacity. But essentially what we can do is we can use these options here to quite literally turn on and shut off layers based on their types. So for instance, this very first option here, my drop-down menu, by the way, is set to kind. The very first option here, filter for pixel layers. If I turn that guy on, nothing happens inside the composition. That's important to know. But what has happened inside the layers panel is any layer other than what Photoshop is referring to as a pixel layer gets disabled. He's no longer visible inside the layers panel. And a quick glance over to the right-hand side tells me that we do indeed have a filter activated here. Okay, so I can click on that guy to deactivate the filtering, and the layers panel returns to normal. Okay? All right, now let's kind of continue here, filtering through our different types. So that was the first guy that we have here. I'm going to turn filtering back on over on the right-hand side, but I'm going to disable my filter by pixel layers, if you will. Let's go and filter by adjustment layers. Have we talked about adjustment layers yet? No, we haven't. But if I go and turn that guy on, it's considering the fill layer to be an adjustment layer. Okay? How about filtering by text layers or type layers? There we go. There's my type layer in there. Okay? And as a matter of fact, you can have more than one of these toggles activated at any given time. Show me adjustment layers and type layers as well simultaneously, or show me pixel layers and type layers, or pixel layers and the adjustment layers. Okay, so lots of fun there. We haven't gotten, by the way, to the other two layer types that we have here, shape layers, and the last guy here, smart objects, a little bit more advanced, but they are available there as well if you want. If you don't want to sort by the kind of layer, what you could do is you could sort by the name of the layer. You could go and type in the name of the layer there if you wanted to, or the effect that is applied to the layer, or how about this, the blending mode that's applied to the layer. Show me all layers that have a blending mode set to normal, or show me all layers that have an overlay blending mode, something like that. Okay, you could certainly get into that if you wanted to. Okay, pretty cool stuff. There's some other options in here as well. You're welcome to explore them. I won't go through every single one of them, but the attribute, the color, the smart object, or selected there. Okay, but normally this is set back to kind. So there you go. There's how you can go and filter and sort your layers. You may want to make use of this in your own work, and I thought I would take a moment to show you exactly how it works.